Welcome to Why They Play the Game, a show created to discuss the NBA on and off the court. I'm just one of your co-hosts, Michael Eric Owens.
And I'm Ken Hayes.
Oh man, it's good to be back with you, Ken.
I know, Mike. Been some interesting things coming down the pike. USA basketball.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame.
Oh man.
You know,
oh man.
James going at
yeah.
at the general manager. He just called me and said, "You're a liar." Let me see.
So let's start off with James Harden, right? So we know that he was on a trip in China. He is, of course, doing some promotion with his brand Adidas and some other things. But we know they love him in China,
right?
And it's even said, Ken, that he even teased them with he might come and play in China. They say so. but he took when the word came out that because the 76ers have been trying to trade him, right? So he signed his extension, right? For like almost $36 million, right?
For 1 year.
Yes. And supposedly this was under the assumption that he would be traded, right? So that did not happen. And so the Sixers came out and said, listen, we haven't really heard anything or received any trade offers that we feel good about. So therefore, we're going to end all trade talks. And then so James takes it on himself to say that, Daryl Morey, the president, the great relationships that he's had with him over the years, is a liar. And he will never play for an organization that he is part of. And then he does he rewinded it. And and then when repeat, right? Rewind,
right.
repeat. So man, what was your thoughts, Ken, when you first heard that?
Typical James Harden. So briefly, he forced his way out of Houston. And when I say forced his way, he just, hey, I got to get up out of here, So he went, where did he go first? He went to Brooklyn. Yeah. Went to Brooklyn to play with Durant and Ben Simmons at that time and Kyrie. And then he said, I had enough of this. And then forced my way out of, Brooklyn and go to Philly. And him and, I think that's the reason why Doc got fired. That's just me saying that, I could be wrong, but that's just,
Yeah.
And then, he signed up players' options thinking that he was going to get, let's just say, a long-term deal.
$35.6 million.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, that's good. That's good money. So, now I don't want to be in Philly anymore. I want to be in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, how many times are you going to force your way out of? I mean, it's got to stop somewhere and just say, hey, why don't you just play and, see what Philly could do, this coming year. But that's not going to happen. And the thing about it is that it just gets, I mean, you get tired. I get tired of it. I put it that way. I won't speak for anybody else, but it's just like, you keep forcing your way out of here. But the thing about it, you don't come through in the clutch. That's what bothers me the most. And, him and Daryl, they've been like this.
Hey, besties.
Right.
They say,
hey, Daryl.
BFFs.
This is what time the plane gonna leave, okay, Daryl?
Yeah.
Okay, James.
Yeah.
So, it just gets a little almost not. I'm almost nauseated about it because the thing about it is that, if you're gonna keep forcing your way out, who wants you?
True.
And I think on the other side, the Clippers are looking at him like, should we take this gamble on him? And they probably say, not for what we maybe have to give up. What's your thoughts?
yeah, I mean it's real interesting what James has done. You know what I mean? And as always, we want you guys to hit that like button, um, and ensure that you hit the notification button, so that we can get all that content. But no, Ken, I I if you look at it out of context, then I can understand, because I think in a sense he was under the assumption that he was going to get a big payday from them, right? So he took that pay cut, right? Get PJ Tucker, and he thought, I'm going to get paid, right?
Right.
Um, so again, business is business, and so I think what ended up happening was, um, um, he found out that he wasn't getting traded. He's lost money, and he spouted. And in my opinion, man, man, Ken, we know in the corporate world, you can't call your boss a liar publicly.
Not
It ain't even a
publicly.
good practice to do it privately. You know what I'm saying? Like that, man. When you do that, that's just, when I heard him do that, I was like, really, James? Like, how do you expect? So he's just gonna go scorch earth to get out of Philly now.
Right.
And what about the other players? You want to lead them in shambles. You want to, just because you want your money and you want to get where you want to get, man. This is highly selfish on James' part. And I must admit, I met James and I like him. He was a cool dude. I did this program. He was there. He was real cool with the kids. So I like James, man. But something is happening. I think this is bigger than basketball, bro.
You think so?
Because when James is unhappy, he out. I don't know if this is like in personal relationships or what. Like he's just, he will force his way. He will scorch earth, man. He will tear up the ground to get where he wants to go. And I think, as you pointed out, Ken, and this is something very important that you said, if I'm another franchise or another, owner or president or coach or player, I'm
Right.
saying, do I really want to um have this guy on my team? And I can honestly say, no, man. Nope. 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 No, 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 no. And when you look at James, I mean, he's had a great career, man. He was
Oh,
drafted in
definitely.
2010 by the Thunder. You remember he won MVP, I believe, that year. It was 20, I think it was 2017, 2018, when he averaged what, 30.4.
Right.
I mean, he led the league in scoring, man. That one year in 2019, he averaged 36 points a game.
I
But
mean,
Ken, that was when the lean in. When he was
right.
leaning in and, getting the calls, he was shooting 15, sometimes 20 free throws a
A
game.
night. Right.
When that, man, and we talked, Ken, even back then, we said when that rule changed, that was going to hurt his game, because
Correct.
that was his offensive game, was that step back, pull up, and lean in. And when they stopped calling that,
It was
man, he
kind of
going
over
to the
for him.
line 5 or 6 times now. So last year, I think what did he average last year? So last year, he averaged 21 points, 6 rebounds, and 10 assists. And
Then it
before
did
you
he lead the
comment, yeah, he
didn't they
led the
lead the
lead
league
in
in
assists.
assists? Right.
But let me make a comment, and then you can come in on this. I hear
Okay.
people, well, James he led the league in assists. He got the ball all the time. Listen, a halfway decent point guard, if you got the ball as much as he has, and plus you're playing with Embiid. Really? Like, Embiid is gonna shoot what, 60 almost 60% in the paint.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm not blown away by the fact that this man led the league in assists. No. I would be shocked if he didn't. As much as ball usage that he has, and he's playing with the MVP. Your thoughts, Ken?
I agree. But I think, you know, we see James trying to get to LA. You already got Kawhi, Paul George.
Mm.
I'm gonna make the statement unreliable or not available. It's not available.
yeah.
Semantics, whatever. Um, Now you bring over James. What you gonna do with that? I mean, you got a 3-headed monster who unreliable, unavailable. So you just paying out more money. I just think
Somebody's
that
got to go.
you think so.
Well, I
I
mean,
feel,
what you gonna do with Russell?
oh, well, you only signed him to what 1 million, something like that. Three
I
3 million or
know.
something like.
Yeah.
Like, man, come on. But I just think it's not it. Even let's just say he goes to LA. I just don't think it's going to work for them.
Okay.
It's just, I mean, they're basically to me the same players. So
Okay.
where you want to get some other production from? But
Well,
I mean, he to me he's doing the Lillard thing as far as I want to only go to this one team. Where's the memo on that one? That just kills me.
man, I think James is just so. I don't think he knows what he wants, and so I think with any team he goes to, he is going to like. Well, where have we seen it work? Okay, even when he was in Houston, he had Chris Paul, Chris bounced.
Yeah,
He had Russell bounced. So I'm saying, so when have we seen, other than the Thunder,
that's what I was about to. Yeah,
when
that's the
have we
best.
seen, when have we seen it really work other than when he was coming off a bench with the Thunder?
That's a good question. I mean, he in spots. I won't say spots. He played well for Philly. I give him that, but he was, to me, overweight, not in shape. He wasn't getting the free. Like you said, he wasn't going to the line 10 to 15 times a night, and he slowed down. You know, there would be some games where he may have like 10, 12, 14. Then the next game he may have 35, 40 or whatever the case may be. Just not really consistent. And we know James has never taken care of his body. I mean, so what's your dedication as far as that's concerned? So I mean, for me, if I was playing general manager, that's something that I would try to stay away from. That's just a bottom line for me.
So would you say he's in your top 10?
Top 10 right now?
Yeah, in the league.
Oh no.
Top 15?
Top 20?
Yeah, I would probably agree with you. Yeah, I would. Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, my point in bringing that up is he ain't that dude no more.
No, he's not. And I think last week we talked about Maxi, up and coming star.
Absolutely.
I don't know if James need to go to the bench, but I would, I think you need to take the ball out of his hands a little bit, somewhat.
So Ken, how does this end, man? Like what is this dude said he's not
And
going to play again, but that collective bargaining agreement has this 30-day requirement. If he doesn't show up for training camp, he misses 30 days, they can take away his restricted free agent clause. And if he doesn't play, the clause says that so Philadelphia would actually have to agree for him to play basketball again anywhere, even overseas. So it's like this dude, I don't understand. If he if he doesn't come in, man, he doesn't have a leg to stand on because they own the rights to him then. And so my question is, does he come in like he came in at Houston?
That's a good question. I just think that Philly may have to find, let's just say, a better destination for him. When I say
Mm.
they, because I don't, I just don't think the Clippers are too high on them. Or that trade would have happened some time ago. That's just
But
me,
don't you got to get something back in return, though, Ken?
That's
I
what I'm
agree with
saying.
you,
Right.
but
That's what I'm saying.
but who wants to give up something for James now, right now?
Right at this stage of his career.
Yeah, man, I don't.
I like I said, I would stay far away from James if I could.
Yeah.
I just don't think I don't think that's a good fit for him in at the Clippers, or I should say, with the Clippers.
So how do you think it ends, man?
That's a good question, Mike. I just think that the destination is going to be somewhere else besides LA.
Mm, mm, mm. Man, this
Then
is not good for basketball. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's like because James' best opportunity was to come back, perform well, and then get that last big contract.
right,
That was his
that's what he was hoping
opportunity.
for.
And man, for him to he just like, bro, he threw a bomb in it. I was like, so how do you I will never play for an organization that he is in charge of. Never. And you know what we used to say growing up? Never say never.
Right.
Oh,
But the
you
thing
know
about it, but the thing about it is that he didn't just say it; he said it twice.
man,
He stood on it.
man, he stood
So
on it, Ken. So I don't know how you get out of this one because he crow and come back what I think he's gonna do. I think he's gonna come into camp. I think he's gonna be disgruntled. I think he's gonna be standing. His body language, Ken, is just gonna be atrocious. And I just think he's gonna and Embiid, and Embiid doesn't seem like the most patient dude. Now he might be, but from what I've
no,
seen from him, like
no,
and really at this stage of his career, he should have patience, man. He's trying to win, right? He's trying to get to the championship. And so I just don't think Joel Embiid's got much patience for that sort of stuff, bro.
no. He doesn't. No. I think that that's going to let's just say work Embiid also. If let's just say no trade comes and we come into training camp and the start of the season comes along, and I just think that's going to be that's like almost lighting dynamite to me. I
Mm,
just think it's going to
mm,
be, they may go back and forth on Twitter or whatever social media, as far as
yeah,
that's concerned. So,
yeah, yeah. All right, man. I don't. Again, I just it makes me feel, man, like the game don't need this. The game don't
no, it
need
doesn't.
players, you know, calling, the upper management liars, man.
But to me, it's the same situation as um, Lillard in Portland.
Mm,
I want to go to Miami. That's
yeah.
the only place I want to go to. But I just don't think they've given the blowback hasn't been given to James like it was Lillard, as far as
Mm.
requesting to go to one team.
Well, and still, Dame Dollar didn't come out and, his spokesperson have said some stuff, but it's still been kind of, it's been respectful. So he didn't come out and be like,
Oh, right, you're right.
oh, they liars. I was like gonna repair a relationship like that when you say it in the public sphere. Like you didn't say this in a private conversation. You said it in China, where we know Daryl Morey had cost the NBA some
Right.
money, right? With his statements, right? So it man, come on, James, stop. Come on, James. Nah, just see, man, like sometimes I just think these brothers, man, it's a more excellent way to handle things, right? And even on our level, right? We understand that that type of engagement can be detrimental to your overall goal, and your overall goal is what you should be focused on, right? And
True.
and you happen to be in a team sport, so it says pretty pretty poorly because you willing to shake up everything. You really just slice it and dice it and break it and do whatever so that you can get what you want. And I think that's terrible.
It's called selfish.
Completely. Say what, Ken?
I said it's called selfish.
Yeah, it is, bro. It's selfish, man. Let's move on to something
Right.
more positive.
Okay.
Oh man, that USA basketball, man. Yeah, they had Spain, and Spain was ranked number one ahead of USA team in FIBA play this year. And so they were saying it was going to be the USA's best
Yeah.
test, and it was a game, man. The USA came out, played very well in the first quarter, battled in the second halftime. They were up by 10, and then in the third quarter, Ken, they Spain just outworked them. I mean, it was almost ridiculous, man. Like, Spain had cut the lead it was in down to 1 point, but then the fourth quarter, the USA said they said
Not
it's winning
today.
time. Yeah, it's winning time, man. So what are your thoughts on the game playing against Spain?
But I think that the reason why Spain is rated number one this is that, USA doesn't really have their, I'm gonna say, top tier players. So okay, if that's how you want to play it, I just think that they have some very good players. Um, you know, Brunson had a good game, led the way. Brandon Ingram was
Man.
killing them. Man, I think I said this last week also. Brandon Ingram is a baller. I like his
Oh
game,
man, this game is smooth.
but
Smooth, man.
but the thing about it is, I just think that they seem like they play well together, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the key
Mm-hmm.
for them. And
Yeah.
everybody, I won't say everybody, is going to get a lot of shots, but the thing about it is that they're going to play their roles. So I think that's a good thing for USA. But I predict them to win it all.
Man, that defense. When they make up their mind, when they say we
Yeah,
about to
right.
clamp you down, oh man, it's too much quickness on the floor, man. Too much, man. They too much athleticism, man. Because and when they came out in that fourth quarter, it was like, oh, y'all ain't getting nothing. And it was just
Right.
like, okay, light switch went off. And just to piggyback on Brunson, man, that first quarter, man, or really the first half. Oh,
Killing them.
he came out like, okay, I see y'all a little sluggish. He looking over at the other players. Y'all a little sluggish. I got this. And he was going to work, man. I was like, man, I love that dude's game, man. Brunson is a born leader. And every time I see him play, Ken, I just get more and more impressed with his poise,
Okay.
with the way he just handles himself on the court, and he's not, he's not out of control. He and like you said this, I think of last week or a couple weeks. I mean, like his footwork is impeccable.
Oh man.
I mean, he puts you on you remember those spinner tops when we were growing up?
Right.
Kind
Yeah.
you just spin. He'll put you in the spinner, man, spin cycle. And he was just, and Brandon, like you say, man, come on. Man, that dude is so smooth, man. Paulo had a good game, of course, coming off the bench. Bobby played really, really
Right.
strong as well. Halliburton played good, man. And then in the fourth quarter, Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards showed up. And he was, man, did you see that defensive play when he blocked the ball and then went down on the other end? And I
Man.
like how he just paused and looked at dude. It was like he looked at him, kid, like, now you I don't think
And
you want to jump,
what the
right? He just looked at him and dunked on him. I said, man,
yeah.
go ahead, brother. Yeah.
He had a nice fourth
Um,
quarter.
yeah, it's exciting to see these young players, and I like how you mentioned, this is, I mean, this is not the KDs or the LeBrons or,
Right.
it's,
But I think it's a good thing because the thing about it, I'm gonna piggyback on what you said about Brunson. in my thinking, I think that, let's just say, players who are going to be free agents, they may say, "Hey, I may need to look at New York. They got Brunson. You know, maybe I can team up with him or go over there and we have a chance at getting to this title." So
Exactly.
that's another thing that you have to think about as far as Brunson is concerned.
Exactly. Exactly. Um, I'm impressed. And then our next game is up against Greece. That's
And that's
tomorrow at
tomorrow.
11 a.m. on FS1. And we do know Giannis is not playing. So you disappointed,
Well,
Ken?
no, I'm glad he's not playing. I'm really happy that he's not playing. And the reason why I say that, I think that he got hurt last year playing,
Mm.
during that summertime, and I just think that Giannis is getting up in age. Um, so, and then he just coming off that cleanup of his knee. So I'm ecstatic that he's not playing. He just needs to rest, let his knee heal, be 100%, and let's go.
So
So
you got
no,
you got you got the Bucks gear on today. See, I switched
right.
it up. I got the Wisconsin. We in the same state though. but I agree with you. I think man, Giannis just seems to be the type of cat where man, you got to make him sit down. Like I think he would ball 24/7 if he could, man. And Giannis, he's not the type of guy that will take a day off. But when you look at the number of games that he's missed over the last few years, it's too many. It's too
I
many,
agree
Ken.
with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He need to be playing 70 games, 65, 70 games a year. And when he down in the 50s, man, that's just not it's not good, man. And that's hurt him a lot in the MVP conversation too,
you think
because
it
he
hurt him
hasn't.
last year or this
Yeah, oh
past year, I
yeah,
should say?
definitely, 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 man. I mean, he
Okay.
had a great, but you can't. And I agree. Availability. You have to be out on the court, and I want to see Giannis. Man, love seeing Giannis play. I mean, but the nasty though. He definitely gonna be out there for Greece, and it should be an interesting game. But Greece doesn't have enough.
Right.
You haven't.
But
You just don't have
I
enough.
think, as far as I'm concerned, I thought Giannis should have got the MVP this past year. Um, as far as number wise, I mean, I always tell you, Mike, the politics of the game. There, I saw NB was going to get that probably three-fourths
Mm-hmm.
into the season.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about it is that I think the new coach for the Bucks needs to help Giannis reduce his minutes. When I say help, is that um, you got to find some scoring from some other places and not depend on him, to get you a bucket. Somebody else has to step up. When Giannis is not, let's just say, playing well, or when you get these big leads in the, let's just say, middle of the third quarter, and then in the fourth quarter you got to come back on the court because you didn't lost this lead that you were up by 21. Now
Exactly. Yeah.
so they need the. I think, to me, I don't want to get on this, but I just think that they need to reduce his minutes significantly, as far as I'm concerned,
So
because
what number are you looking at?
I would try. I would try to get him between 36 and
Mm.
40.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm. That's a good number. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
so, and I just think that a lot. I've seen this over and over that they'd be up, like, let's just say, 17
Mm.
going into the fourth, or 2 minutes into the to the 2 minutes left into the third quarter, and then all of a sudden fourth quarter come, they up by 5 or 3. I'm like, really?
Yeah,
But
I know,
we got
man.
off track though.
No, but and I would add, I think Malik Beasley, will bring some offense, create some offense. The problem with folks like Connaughton um and
Allen.
Allen, they need to be set up. They're not shot creators. Allen can do a little bit more, but still, they want to catch and shoot,
Right.
and you need Giannis. You need Drew. You need, and we need guys that can come in and just get it. Right. That's what the Bucks have missing. That's what we're hoping that Beauchamp will do. Come
Right.
in and get it. Right. Like you in, it's time to eat. So
Right.
Giannis is on the bench. Just come in and do your thing, man. That's what the Bucks needs, man. When you have Norman Powell that come in the game. Oh, he gonna eat.
Right.
Okay, let's
But
Maxey come in the game. Well, he gonna eat. You need guys like that.
but I think the other thing also, I think that Giannis needs to give up some of his shots that he takes during the game. When I say give up, you gotta let somebody else, get that feel too.
Man, I
You
don't know
shaking your
though.
head now.
Man,
You don't think that's gonna happen?
listen, man. I think it's hard for Giannis does. I mean, he does. Pass the ball. His assist has increased every year. I think he's understanding, but that's got a lot to do with trust. I think if Chris can come back 100%, I think that will help Giannis too, because Giannis is, man. Sometimes when I look at his game, he'll come down, he'll shake, bake, spin, and then he'll dish in the corner. They missed the shot. So I'm thinking, if I'm Giannis, I'm like, man, I just worked all. No, I'm going to the hole next time. So see, I think sometimes out of necessity, he continues to go to the rim, right? Like he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have that absolute trust that
Trust.
this guy, if this guy is on, then it's good, right? Because Grayson is on. Grayson can close his eyes, right?
Right.
But when he's off, right, he can give him glasses and he can't hit, right? So I just think sometimes, man, when you're that star player and you're exerting all that energy, and other dudes are not coming to that level, then you keep that shot, man. So I agree, but also on top of that, I want to talk a little bit about Porzingis with the Celtics. So Giannis is out; he's not playing in the World Cup, and we know Porzingis is out because he has a foot injury. And we do know of the history of 7-footers with foot
Oh,
injury. Sam Bowie,
ooh,
okay,
not a good one.
Yao Ming, right? So Ken, what is your thoughts when you heard that?
Well, I think Celtics management was probably kicking themselves and like, oh my, he already had a history of injuries anyway. So let's not
Yeah.
spend a lot of time on that. But I just think that when they heard that, they looked at each other like, not the season it hasn't even started yet. So they say he's supposed to be. They said he's supposed to be back for the start of the season, but from all things going on, I don't think that's going to happen. Um, I could see if it was let's just say during the season that this happened, but he just we
Dude,
don't
he
know
ain't
what he's
played
doing.
one game. He ain't
Right,
played
I
one
know.
game.
So, but it's gonna be tough because the thing about it is that they're depending on him a lot. Getting rid of Smart, so he's kind of, let's just say, I won't say taking his place, but you say, yeah, I gave up Smart to get this guy right here. So
Grant
he got a lot
Williams
of,
gone.
well, that too. We'll just say toughness. But it's not looking good. And then
Ken,
Brock,
that is go ahead.
and then it's, to me, I won't say he's the only player that they have a somewhat of an inside presence, but he just likes to shoot outside anyway. That's just a game.
Ken, I when I heard that is terrible news, man. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. This guy hasn't even put on a jersey yet. I was like, you gave up, like you said, Marcus. You gave up the heart and soul of your team.
Yeah,
Porzingis is a huge piece for them. I was like, no, man, this is terrible news. I thought about Brogdon since you just
yeah.
mentioned him because they were trying to trade him.
They was trying to get rid of him
I
big
don't know if
time.
they can now.
No, everybody knows
Or
that he's.
do they try to package him for a backup now for somebody that can provide some, because man, this is terrible news, to be honest with you. If I'm in Celtics Nation, I am like, I'm upset. I'm upset, man, because like this, he's had a history of injuries, as you pointed out, and now, man, we haven't even gotten to, like, you supposed to be 100%. We just traded away Marcus Smart. Come on.
Yeah, and Grant Williams. The thing about it, Mike, is that I'll say this: he has a lot of pressure on him just to fill those shoes.
Mm,
And to think about it, even if he's healthy, I don't think he's going to do it. That's just me. I never seen Porzingis really come through. He played well in New York, but he just got beat up and injured and played too many minutes. And I think that was probably the downward spiral of his career. I mean, he was
yeah,
playing tons of minutes when he was in New York.
yeah,
That's all
yeah.
they had, really. So,
True. Yeah. Yeah, and like you mentioned it, when we first heard of the trade, we thought, uh, lukewarm on whether or not this was going to really make a difference for Boston. But the fact that he is hurt, I'm sure we both would agree. We hope that it's minor,
oh
that it's
yeah,
nothing
definitely.
major, that he can come back and play. But if it's something major, man, Boston is in deep trouble because you don't have nothing to give away. You gave away your best. And so unless you're going to put JT, which I know you ain't going to do that, unless you're going to put that, ain't going to get you nowhere. And you just paid Jaylen Brown $300 million. so,
60 $60 million man.
I
Yeah.
know, man. That is crazy, man. But like you say, I hope that he can recover. And but let's talk about this in season tournament, man. How do you feel about
Oh my.
the in season tournament?
I think it's to me a little bit ridiculous. It's just doing too much, as the young people say, too much. And the thing about it is that, I mean, let's play the regular season like we've been playing it, and just call it a day. I just think trying to you know make matchups as far as teams are concerned, and sex or Group A, Group B, and Group C. I'm like,
Mm.
what we doing here? I'm like, man. So I looked at the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're trying to put, let's just say, maybe, I know one game which is going to be on TNT, Milwaukee and Miami, that
Mm.
feature game, because of,
Yeah.
let's just say, this past season. And then I think they have another game, um, Golden State and Sacramento, because of past season they won 7 games, and I think Curry had
Mm-hmm.
50 in the game 7, I
Yeah.
believe. So to me they're trying to maneuver too much to go back to what happened last year. Let's go. I mean, they're gonna meet up anyway, somewhere
Yeah.
down the
Yeah.
line anyway.
Man, Ken, I'm telling you, man, I'm still salty. Okay.
Why is
My
that?
cause every time the Bucks line up against mine, we need some get back. I
Right.
don't listen. Every chance I want to put my foot down Miami, because Miami, let's be honest, Miami
Yeah.
came in and they it was embarrassing. Let's just be honest. Miami came in and they played ball. Jimmy, man, if I had
Took
my
it to him.
headphones on, I'd take my hat off to him because he went to work.
Yeah,
Okay,
he
and
did.
you could. I don't care. Yeah, Giannis. It could have been a different series, but man, listen, we got to give Miami respect. they came in and they handled their business, man, and it was not pretty to be a Bucks fan. And so, any opportunity that we can get to get some get back, I want it.
But the
Okay,
thing,
so
well, remember they were in, let's just say, the bubble that
mm-hmm,
year,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and Miami beat them,
Yeah.
the Bucks, 4-1.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then the next year, Milwaukee
What
came
happened?
back and he swept them.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So, it goes back and forth for Miami. I think, it should be. I mean, it's or let's just say those games should be interesting. But I mean, you don't need to force it.
Yeah, and I will say what I would be curious to hear players' perspective on whether or not they value a in-season tournament winner. Like, what does that
No,
mean? You know what I
no.
mean? Like, is it? And so I understand why the league did it, because they want to try to make the league more competitive, right? They want to try to give some type of edge and some type of, and who knows? I mean, it might grow into the fact where, the fans love it and the fans are, who knows? I don't know. But the NBA championship is such a long journey,
Oh
and it's
yeah,
like only one team can stand at the top, okay? And get on that tour through the city. Only one team can do that. And to me, that goal is so huge that I just don't know if anything in between would matter. Because if you win the in-season tournament and you lose the NBA championship, what does that mean?
that's
You
almost
know
like
what I mean?
having the best record in the NBA and then not win the championship.
Yeah. So I don't. It's weird, man. I mean, this is the pilot, and but it's weird. I don't know how to feel about it, Ken. Really, to be honest, I don't know if if the Bucks win the in-season tournament, man, and they got new hats and this, that, and the other thing, like that's just merchandise. I don't. What does that mean? But then they get put out in the first round, right? So
Then right, then I'm
you know what I
pissed.
mean? So, exactly. So I'm all confused, man. I need to go see my therapist or something to help me understand these feelings that I got. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll just have to see, folks. And y'all tell us what do you think about the in season
Yeah,
tournament? Is it a
exactly.
good thing? Is it a bad thing? I don't. I'm kind of confused about it, man. But I'm gonna watch it for sure. I'm
Oh
definitely
yeah,
gonna watch it,
definitely.
man. Hey, in closing, Kim, All Star, the Hall of Fame, the
Mm.
Hall of Fame this past weekend, man. We had Becky Hammond, we had Tony Parker, Paul Gasol, Popovich was in there, also Greg Popovich, and Dirk Levinsky, and of course, our man Dwayne Wade, the Marquette boy, the Chicago boy.
first
We
Marquette,
claiming.
first Marquette player to get into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's nice, man.
So,
Oh yeah. So what did you think about this year's inductees?
so, real quick, Dwayne had a great speech. Him and his pops. You know, so I thought that was great.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Then he gave some acknowledgments to his wife and their family. I thought that was good too. Um, didn't really see any of the other speeches, unfortunately. But the only man, I'm gonna say this: Paul Gasol to me is not a Hall of Famer.
Mm.
Just,
Why
just not for me.
I knew you were gonna say that. Go ahead.
I
Go
can't
ahead.
do it. I mean, playing with Kobe. I mean, yeah, okay, they won a couple of championships, and the thing about it is that I just don't think that he did enough to be a Hall of Famer. But now, in these days, right now, um, they say Draymond Green is a Hall of Famer, but I just don't see Gasol as far as his play is concerned, his numbers is a Hall of Famer to me.
Yeah, I have always had issues with the NBA Hall of Fame because it's the easiest Hall of Fame to get into. Baseball is very difficult.
Ooh, yeah,
Very
right,
difficult. Okay. Football is very difficult, right? I mean, they just don't. But basketball, I agree with you, man. I again, Paul. Um, I mean, he was a good player,
right.
but not great. But not great. And to me, the Hall of Fame is about greatness. See,
Okay,
that's about greatness, man. To me, like when you go through the Hall of Fame, it's like dudes like, of course, the GOAT. It's like Chamberlain, it's like Magic,
Kareem,
Bird, Kareem. You know what I mean? Like these are dudes that the name is revered.
right.
You know what I mean? Like, and I do put Dwayne Wade in that category
Oh yeah,
because
definitely.
Dwayne was, man, who gonna stop him? I mean, he was. Who gonna stop the Shaqs? Who gonna stop the Dr. J's? These are the guys, in my opinion, that are Hall of Famers, man. Like I thought Gasol was a good player, but I mean, I don't think nobody on the opposition ever thought, man, I got to go against Gasol tonight, man. I better have my Wheaties. No, it was like I'm going against Kobe tonight. I
Right.
better get my Wheaties and your Wheaties too. You know what I mean? Like those are the dudes that I think belong in the Hall of Fame, Ken. But I just don't. I just don't think. I just don't think it's that difficult to get in the NBA Hall of Fame.
I agree with that. Pop, you
What?
know, he got more wins than
Yeah, I mean,
anybody.
you know,
Yeah, so
yeah. I mean,
that's all.
that's
That's all. As they say,
automatic.
AUT automatic. Uh,
Exactly.
so and Becky Hammond, she's a great player. Now she's coaching. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Dope,
and
dope.
Tony Parker, had a great career in San Antonio. Um, you can't take nothing away from him. So, but
I
that
mean,
Gasol,
Tony was a beast.
oh,
I mean, I think a lot of
man,
people forget. I mean, Tony was a beast, man. He was like, Tony never stopped coming at you.
right. I
He
remember when
never stopped.
they played Seattle and Peyton was trying to hold him, and man, it wouldn't even it wouldn't even close. So, but
Man,
yeah,
Tony.
he
Mm-hmm.
could get a basket anytime he wanted to.
Dirk. How you feel about Dirk?
Oh, no. To me, I wish he. Let's just say I wish he would have won a couple of more championships.
Mm,
He could. Um, I just don't think Dallas did a great job in surrounding him with some, let's just say, other players that could help him win more than one championship. I mean,
yeah.
Dirk was a beast. I mean, he could
Yeah, he
shoot it from
was.
anywhere, back to the basket.
Yeah.
Three. It's
Yeah.
almost like classical music with Dirk.
Yeah, it is.
Smooth.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No objections whatsoever. You have my vote. Uh,
Right. Yeah.
and and but yeah, but I did listen to Paul's speech, man, and he was very appreciative of Kobe.
Oh yeah.
Vanessa was there, so he talked about that relationship
They had a close
and
relationship.
yeah, he did. Yeah, he did, man. How his career changed when he and really he should be thanking Kobe because Kobe got him in the hall. I mean,
Yeah.
Kobe got him in the hall.
You
Let's be
said that.
honest. Like nobody would be even talking about Paul Gasol if he didn't play with Kobe. Okay. So he get a little press. I'm not gonna knock him like that because he was a decent big man. He really
Oh
was.
yeah, his brother
But
too.
yeah, but he wasn't. Oh yeah, but nah. I think but I'm happy for him. I mean, that's man, that's an achievement, man.
It is.
The Hall of
No,
Fame. How many
right.
players have come along? I don't like I say, man. If Draymond Green is a first ballot
Stop.
Hall of Famer, I probably will never look at another Hall of Fame induction because I just, You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to. Again, I just think this is nothing personal. I just think that's for the greats of the game. And folks, you might disagree with me. Maybe my definition is too restrictive. Let me know. But I think it's the Oscar Robinsons.
Oh yeah.
It's the Dave Cowens. Well, I take you back a little bit, huh? I mean, yeah, it's those boys, man, that belong in the hall. And there's others that I think, because I could make an argument for a lot of players that's on the same level as Paul Gasol that's not in the hall, right? I
Oh,
mean, okay, let's be honest. And but great ceremony, man. And great speeches, great individuals, all of them, class acts, every last
oh,
one of them,
definitely.
and great ambassadors of the game. And like I say, I'm not, Paul, don't get mad at me. I ain't hate on you. I mean, I'm saying Ken said it first, so be mad at Ken. I just co-signed on it, man.
Right.
Yeah, man. So we got USA basketball. We also got Damian Lillard still sitting. Dame time ain't come yet for the trade, so he's still sitting there. And we got the debacle in Philly, man. So who knows what next week is gonna bring?
So it's going to be interesting to see, if they get traded. I just don't think neither one of them will get traded when the season starts.
Yeah.
I, I think Lillard probably have a better chance than James, but who knows?
Man, who knows, Ken? Hey, as we all say, the world of sports unites us. Let us take this unity in our everyday life. This is why they play the game.